Welcome to again. Reverse Dealer TV, episode 4.
We're number 4 now.
Number 4.
4 down that quick.
3 down.
3 down.
Billion to go.
Yeah. We'll go. Let's see if we can get to 1,000.
With your host, over this guy over here is Chris Schellenberger. Chris, you're the guy behind Reverse Dealer.
Yes.
Tell us something that's interesting that happened this week over at Reverse Dealer.
This week.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Oh, you sure didn't at all. Well, just this morning. Actually, what happened, well, we sold 4 cars today, 4 cars for our clients that are on consignment on the lot. My favorite one was a gentleman came in today. He was looking to downgrade from his Ford. He had a nice big truck, wanted to downgrade into an SUV.
Okay.
So he came in within a half hour. He traded into a smaller SUV, and the SUV was worth $6,000. His vehicle was worth $16,000.
Okay.
So we cut him a check for $10,000. And he drove away in his new SUV. We paid out the seller, and everyone was happy. That was a win-win-win-win. That's
awesome.
That's a 4-win.
That's fantastic. So that's great. So this week, if you're watching on Facebook, if you're watching on Periscope, just pop a question into their comment section or into the chat on Periscope, and we'll start collecting them before we jump into things, and then we'll kind of get them answered here.
Absolutely.
Let's jump into a break right now, then I guess. And then we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll get ready to get into the show.
Woo!
Ken.
Yeah, Rich.
How often would you recommend somebody changes their brakes?
Well, you should probably have them checked every 6 months to a year at your local mechanic shop. Normal brakes run about 150 to 200,000 kilometers.
Okay. And is there any ways I can tell if I need new brakes right away?
Definitely if you can feel a grinding or you can hear a squealing, that is a good sign that you need brakes.
Okay, so somebody should come and see somebody cool like you?
Yeah, come on down. I'll check your brakes for free and let you know what you need.
So you came down here from Edmonton, and how was your experience?
Oh, it was awesome. If anyone's looking for some awesome, honest people to buy a vehicle off of, I would definitely recommend Reverse Dealers. And my man Rich, Chris, Mick, and Mitch, they're all awesome.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
Cheers.
Hey, Kent, I noticed my engine's dirty. How should I clean it?
Well, with the pressure washer, soap and water.
Is there any technique to it? Is there anything that I should avoid hitting?
You should clean the entire engine bay. Just avoid any direct pressure on any electronics or air intakes.
Okay, so it's totally safe?
It's totally safe. It's made to deal with the elements.
Excellent. All right, Mike. So we sold your Volkswagen Beetle for you. How did we make that an easy experience for you?
Simple. Just dropped it off and came back later and got my check.
Oh, excellent.
So,
all right. So would you recommend Reverse Dealer to other people?
Certainly. You're probably going to get the best dollar that you'll get for just leaving it in somebody else's hands.
Here, and right now we are in a 2010 Camaro SS, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this is a great car. Number 1, 2 Camaros for the price of 1, because we love you so much here at Reverse Dealer. Number 2, it has 410 foot-pounds of torque, so when you step on the gas, it answers back. Number 3, if you're serious about sound, it comes equipped with a Boston acoustic system. Here, and right now we're in a 2013 Audi A3, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this is a great car. Number 1, it has a key that makes you feel like a badass. Number 2, there's a 2.0 liter turbo engine in here. So when you step on the gas, it's going to get you to where you want to go a whole lot quicker. Number 3 is the glorious moonroof.
All right, we're back on Reverse Dealer TV.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Chris?
Yes.
I think it's time for change.
It's time for change. I think so too.
So tell me why Reverse Dealer does things differently and why why it's time for reverse dealer. Like why is now the right time for reverse dealer where, 5-10 years ago, something like reverse dealer wouldn't have worked?
There's lots of things. It's just like everything has led up to this point. Vehicles have been sold the same way for the last 100 years, but now technology has progressed, where we can now, before it used to be like magazines where you used to like buy vehicles from those Auto Trader magazines,
right? Yeah.
Or you'd go into a dealership, so it was hard to get like all the data what other dealerships were selling the exact same vehicles for, and customers just didn't know what a fair price really was. So you kind of just had to guess, or
you took what you were offered, or
yeah, basically. And now I think with technology, it's helped us get data so we can find out whether any specific vehicle out there, what it's worth in comparison to other live vehicles for sale on the market right now. So I think full transparency we're not fully transparent yet with the industry. Reverse dealer is really trying to change that. So our biggest thing, and that's where we feel the biggest change is needed, is in that transparency. And the internet, I would say, is the number one reason why we can now have reverse dealer in place.
So with the internet in place now, I think it makes the whole process a bit different, doesn't it?
Totally.
So let's run through the process real quick for someone who doesn't know already what the reverse dealer
reverse dealer?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's two different sides of reverse dealer. You can sell your vehicle with reverse dealer, or you can buy a vehicle from reverse dealer. If you're selling your vehicle, you just show up to the lot, and so you just show up to the lot, and then we will go out to the vehicle. We'll walk the vehicle together, and then we'll come up with a fair listing price for your vehicle. And then we'll list that vehicle online to across the country.
So you and I come up with that price together?
Together,
then?
yeah.
Okay.
To come up, because we'll pull up the live market. So if you have a 2010 Toyota Corolla, then we'll pull up all like for sale Corollas on the market live right now. We'll pull up the average price, average kilometers, and then we'll make sure we're aggressively priced compared to all those other ones out there. And the whole goal is just to get you a fair price for that vehicle. So we will market your vehicle to the public for you. We'll take 20 plus pictures. We'll do a professional video. We will write a professional ad, and then we'll distribute it across all social media platforms, all the car platforms where you find vehicles online. So anywhere you're looking to buy a vehicle, it's basically no different than a regular dealership. We offer financing, extended warranty, everything a regular dealer does. The biggest difference with reverse dealer when buying is the majority of the money goes to the seller of the vehicle. It doesn't come to a giant corporation.
Right.
And yeah, that's the biggest difference, is the money goes to the person who actually owns that vehicle.
So the money that you set price, that goes directly to that person?
Yes, and then we just take a flat rate. So
it comes out of that portion?
Out of that portion,
okay.
Yeah. And out of that, it's just a flat rate. So there's no incentive for us to keep the price high, keep the price low.
Because you're getting your cut no matter what.
As long as the seller and buyer agree,
right,
then they're happy. So our incentive is to have two people agree, then we get paid. So it's a totally different. That's why it's called reverse dealer, because our incentive is to have two happy people before we get paid. So that's the way we design it.
So now before we jump in and talk about the opposite side, if you're coming at it from a buying perspective, if you're listening over on Facebook Live or watching over on Periscope, just please pop in a question. That's what we're here for. We're here to answer your questions and come up with any kind of solutions that we might be able to have. Looks like we already have one in Facebook. We have a couple probably on Periscope already.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about if I was buying. What does that process look like?
So if you're buying, it's basically... it's very similar to a traditional dealership. Like, you can find the vehicle online. You can come into our lot. You can take it for a test drive. We have full transparency. So we have a car proof pulled on every vehicle that shows any accident histories, insurance claims, anything like that. We have a full vehicle inspection done on the vehicle, so you know mechanically the condition it's in. And in our picture process, we take close-up of any damages or anything like that, so you see the exterior condition.
So you know what you're getting.
You know the history of it, you know the inside and the outside and the mechanicals of the vehicle. So
very cool.
Full transparency, and then, like I said, we offer financing, extended warranty to the buyers. So
okay, that's great.
So it really helps the seller get their vehicle sold because we offer financing, whereas if you were selling your vehicle privately, you wouldn't be able to offer financing. So we provide that. So that really helps.
And
get
that's
the vehicle
through a bank then?
Yeah, we go through all the major banks. And
fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's say I'm buying a car then, and I want maybe I don't agree with the price that's set for that vehicle. How does that work? Can I negotiate?
Yeah, you can. One thing we do really try to do when we're listing the vehicle for sale, so when the seller comes in, we do everything we can to make sure they list at a fair price. And if for some reason the buyer disagrees with the price, it's like buying a house. You can make the offer, and we will present that offer to the seller, and it's up to the seller to accept, reject, or counter the offer. So.
Okay, so and does that happen a lot? I bet the counter offer comes in.
There is a lot of that. We're doing our best to list the vehicle the best price up front. So usually we get a lot of visits on our site because our pricing is so aggressive up front, because the seller's happy to undercut the dealers, because for their listing price, because what they would have got if they sold to a dealer is so much less that they're just happy to just sell and get theirs sold faster. So
I would imagine that if there is any difference in price, it's minimal.
It's very minimal, and that's the thing, and that's what we tell our clients. Like if they try to negotiate like a regular dealership, you try to get like $3,000 off. It doesn't work, because the reason they're there is because they did their research. They can use the internet. They can find out that our vehicles are the best priced out there, if not the best. They're usually the top 3, and people that you can do research. It's the internet, so it's so easy to find out if it's a good deal or not. And then they will come in. A lot of clients will try to get a little money off. And then if you just say to them, you're here because you found it online, it's one of the best price.
Are you really going to find something at this
price?
And
then I'll say, well, how did you come up with that offer? And then they'll just laugh sometimes. And then they'll just say, well, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. Maybe we can knock a couple $100 off, but I know it's a fair price.
And with the financing that you guys can offer, it's a lot easier to, find that appropriate price and go with it, where if you were buying privately, you're negotiating a lower rate because that's all you have up front.
Exactly.
You're making that payment up front.
Yeah, it's cash. Yeah, exactly.
And
So big difference.
Where with you guys, it doesn't have to be cash.
No, we do both. Obviously, we accept cash as well. But
who doesn't accept?
And it's actually another weird thing.
Okay.
I think we were the very first dealership in Canada to accept. Have you heard of Bitcoin?
You accept Bitcoin?
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, we had because I was really into studying Bitcoin about 2.5-3 years ago. Just before it got huge. And then I just looked in, because right before I launched Reverse Dealer, I wanted to be one of the first, because Reverse Dealer was so different. I wanted it because I thought Bitcoin would be picking up a little bit faster than what it did. So we actually accept.
It's Dogecoin. It's all about the Dogecoin.
The Dogecoin. Is that still going?
Yeah, that's the Dogecoin.
Yeah, so I thought it was Ether, the new stuff.
Have you actually sold anything? Or
no.
bought anything with but if someone wanted to.
Yeah, you can.
Because if someone was jumped on that Bitcoin thing that one Bitcoin is worth, I don't even know how much.
Last time I checked a week ago, it was like 833
for a single Bitcoin.
For one,
And back in the day, I know Bitcoins, some guy bought a pizza for, what was it, 20 Bitcoin?
No, it was like 44,000 or some ridiculous number.
Yeah, because the value of the Bitcoin was so low.
It's like a fraction of a decimal.
If you've got some Bitcoins, and you need a car.
Yes,
you know where to head. Yeah. So negotiating usually is something that you guys facilitate then?
Yeah. So the buyer will make an offer, and sometimes we'll be the buffer in between. So if the offer isn't, I'll ask what's your reasoning for that. If they don't give me a good enough reason, I'm not going to call and say pester the seller. If it's not a reasonable offer and they don't give me a reasonable reason to do it, I'm not even going to take the time. So I'll negotiate right with the buyer right there. But if they give a good enough reason and it makes sense, then I will go and present to the seller. I'll always call the seller to let them know that we had an offer, and then if they want.
Well, with the fact that you're getting your flat rate, it's really, really easy to have their best interest. Everyone's best interest.
That's the whole concept.
Right?
That's what the win-win-win is all about. Is we have no incentive to charge high, charge low. It's just to have both people agree. That's it.
Well, and the fact that you guys have your lot, you're not in any, because I know sometimes I've heard, sometimes with selling houses and stuff, the sooner the realtor can get the house off the market, the more money they technically make. Yeah. Where with you guys, it doesn't even matter.
It's a flat rate. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, because the realtor's got to pay for the listing and all those things. Where with you guys, it's just one rate, and it only really costs you once.
Yeah, exactly.
To do those things, and that's all built into the cost.
Exactly.
The car could sit there for however long it needs to.
Exactly.
The right buyer comes.
Yep, exactly.
If it's that specialty vehicle or something, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's fantastic. Chris, we got a couple more questions.
Okay.
We got a couple more things we could talk about, but I think we've got some questions from Facebook. It says, what's a good age for a vehicle to be traded in?
That is a very good question. A good age, it really depends on the market. So it's not necessarily just the age, but it depends what season you're going to be trading in the vehicle.
That makes sense.
Age, I would say usually 2 to 3 years. 3 years, I would say, and this isn't off any hard data. This is just my personal perception over time. I would say 3 years is the best time to trade it in. That's where it hasn't depreciated so much, and then it really depends on your kilometers. But I would say 3 years. And a thing I would really keep in mind, if you're trading in a 4x4, if you trade it in like a 4x4 SUV,
right,
and you trade it in the winter, you'll probably get more than, say, another example would be if you have a sports car, a rear-wheel drive
summer.
sports car, and you trade it in the winter, in the off-season, you're probably going to get way less. But if they're in
Right.
demand in season, then that's the best time to trade in.
So 3 years then. I know for myself, I recently now own my vehicle. It took me a little more than 3 years to pay off that payment plan.
Yeah.
Would you suggest if someone needs a new vehicle, do they wait until they own it, or do they go in and try and get rid of it before they're done paying it off? How does that work?
It really depends. And the only options we had before, and usually after 3 years, if you trade in your vehicle to a regular dealership, you usually have a little bit of negative equity.
Right, that's what I'm talking
But
about. Right,
a lot of time, but that's because that was the only option. But now with reverse dealer, I've honestly found so people trade in their vehicles, usually after 3 years, we save on average our clients $3,000 to $4,000 more than what they would get at a traditional dealer. And that $3,000 to $4,000 is usually the negative equity that's left in a vehicle. So we can get people out of that negative equity situation just by using us. So
okay,
yeah, so that's.
And then not necessarily like you're not forced to actually use reverse dealer to get into another vehicle.
No.
Like a lot of dealers want you to do. They want you to come in with
Yeah.
that negative equity
Yeah.
and get you right back into another car.
They want you to trade in. Exactly.
Exactly. Where if I say I had some negative equity, we're paying off my wife's Rio, and if we wanted to get rid of it, say just downsize to one car, we could come to you and do it, and still get a fair price instead of trading it in for nothing.
Exactly.
And then go through the pressure of having to try and buy another vehicle.
Exactly. And then they try to make you buy something, even if you don't want to buy something right away. You're like, well, I have to trade in because I have a little bit of negative equity.
Exactly.
And then you get stuck going into something you don't want to. That's another thing about reverse dealer is that we're the exact opposite. In that way, we don't do that high pressure. It's basically if you want to come in and just sell your vehicle, that's what we do.
Again, because you just take that flat rate.
There's
it's the same every
we
time.
have
It's
no
completely
incentive to
transparent.
buy low
Gotcha.
and sell high. The incentive is gone. That's why it's called reverse dealer.
Reverse dealer,
So,
fantastic. We got another question here. I don't know how much we want to really dive into this one. I guess it's a bit sensitive, but if you found working in the car dealer because you've done it in the past, do you find? I don't know. I've always heard it. That women they've got to go into the dealership with their dad or their husband.
Yeah.
And they can't make a deal without the man being there.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in a different
Totally
world
different.
now.
Yeah.
Do car dealerships prey on women more than men?
I wouldn't say they prey on them. One thing I have noticed firsthand, and it's just terrible. Sometimes, like if just a woman walks in, I've seen salespeople just talk to them in like just the worst way possible. Just talk
Like
down
they
to
don't
them.
know what they're talking
Or,
about. Right?
and I'm sure a lot of women out there can attest to this one. Say you are in there with your boyfriend or husband, and then the salesperson just talks straight to the man, and then
to her.
just
Yeah.
totally, and it could be the woman's vehicle, and the woman could actually know more about the vehicles than the husband.
Well, that's the thing. I
And
think
it-
any woman in the world knows more about vehicles than me. So I would be taking a woman with me to go buy a vehicle. I mean, I'll be honest, when we bought my wife's car, that's exactly the thing. It wasn't for me. It was for her.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, my wife's the one that says yay or nay when it comes to
Yeah.
money in the house.
Yeah.
So, and you've seen it happen.
Oh, I've seen it lots of times.
So it's going to be different at reverse
Yeah.
dealer. But what would you say to someone going to a dealership today to combat that? What would they have to do?
Combat? I wouldn't combat. I would just leave. If someone honestly, if
That's a good
that
enough
you have to
reason.
treat it like they're a business trying to earn your business, and if they're gonna totally disrespect you like that, why would you put your money up to
That's it.
support that business? Like you have to just treat it that way. I would literally just walk away.
Just
I
walk
would
away.
and I would tell them why. I wouldn't just leave. I would say, okay, I'd literally just probably just stop it right there. Like if I had a wife and she was sitting beside me, I'd probably just Like if he was talking straight to me, it was for her. I would just straight up say right to the salesperson that
This isn't my car.
this isn't my car. You just lost a sale because you're talking to me.
Peace out.
Yeah, and then we're gone. So that's how I would treat it.
Fantastic. Chris, speaking of trading in, we were talking a bit more. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the trade-in process at a regular dealership? What is that like?
The process for the customer.
So say I wanted to trade. Now I have my Soul. I own it.
Yeah.
And I want to trade it in because I'm in debt right now.
Yep. So if you trade in, it's still a terrible process. And I haven't traded in my own vehicle personally, but I've been on the other side at my last position. Yeah, I used to manage 4 different used car store departments at once.
So you knew and that's how dealerships gain used inventory.
That's how they gain their inventory. Their goal is to buy low and then recondition it and then sell it for as much as they can. That's their incentive. So with trading in, if you're trading in your vehicle, if you want a quick tip, the best thing to do is work a deal on the vehicle you're buying. And then when it comes down to, like, they'll give you the numbers, tell them you want the best price, everything.
Oh.
And then at the very end, then tell them you want to trade. And then they'll give you, then they'll give you the real number. The problem is if you go in and say you want to trade, they're already
the real number of the car that you're buying?
The real number of the trade-in. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
They'll give you an actual cash value, whereas, and not every time, there's things they can do to get around it as well. But if you go in and say you're trading in right away, the dealerships, a lot of times they'll be calculating things in their head just to ways to manipulate the trade number. So
really? There's
something called actual cash value.
Okay.
That's the number that they would give you for your trade if you didn't buy anything. That's what your vehicle's worth. That's what they give you. But then there's something called a trade number where they can inflate that number to make it look like they're giving you more, when really all they're doing is subtracting profit out of the vehicle you're buying to make it look like people want more money for their trades.
Right.
And dealerships know that their numbers are never high enough, so they have to take some money out of that front end profit on the vehicle you're buying and stuff it into the trade-in price to make you feel better, to get you to go ahead with the deal.
I definitely did not know that happens. So you're saying
almost all the time.
Just to sum that up real quick, if you are looking to trade in your vehicle and you are looking to get into a new ride, go in looking for that new ride, negotiate that first, and right now, and then when they say, okay, how are you going to be paying? Be like, oh, and I want to trade something in.
Yeah, or just bring it to reverse dealer straight up before you even go to a dealer. So, but honestly, that is the best way to do it. Or another good thing, you can even say you told them that you're going to be trading in. A good technique you can do is say, okay, what if I didn't buy this vehicle? Would you still give me that trade number you just offered me on this vehicle right now if I didn't buy this vehicle? Would you still buy my trade off me for that price right now?
And they wouldn't.
And 9 times out of 10, it's like, well, no, because they can't, because it's a fake number.
It's a fake number,
yeah.
Totally.
So
we got one other question here from Brian in Facebook. Apparently, there's other consignment dealers out there. What makes Reverse Dealer different from any other consignment dealer? I don't know. We don't have anyone else here in Red Deer. I have never seen one in Alberta. I think Reverse is the first one here.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
The biggest difference is there are consignment dealers out there. They will their specialty isn't consignment. The biggest difference is going to be the pay structure. A lot of them go off of a percentage. So if, say you bring in your vehicle, it's worth $30,000, they'll take 15% or 10% of the entire vehicle. So there's a percentage base. So their incentive to keep the price high to the buyer is still there. The incentive to buy low, sell high is still there. So the biggest difference is Reverse Dealer. They work off a flat rate, and our incentive is to have 2 people happy before we get paid. That's the biggest difference.
So if you are looking for another consignment dealer, make sure that they've got that price listed up front.
Yeah.
They have to be doing it the same way as Reverse Dealer. Otherwise, come see Reverse Dealer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just and that's the thing. Some dealers, they can do consignment. They will list it for more money. They could ask for more money.
Right.
And then you could end up getting paid a lot more for your vehicle in like a odd situation. But then the buyer just overpaid and got holes, and that's what we're eliminating. We want everyone to be happy, so that exactly, it's a balance, and totally we feel everyone, and we support our local community. All our vehicles are local community vehicles, and we want the buyer and seller to be happy, not just the seller. So we're giving back to our communities. So we want both people win-win-win for everyone.
Fantastic.
So that's the big difference. So
Hema, do we have any questions on Periscope? Not right now. I think that this is a good chance to let's pop into a break. If you're watching on Facebook Live, thank you so much.
Yes,
Pop a couple comments into the comment, ask a question here or there. Hey, let's switch over to that camera for that. There you go.
Woo.
Let's switch over
Here's
to
the
that.
fees if you're ever
There you
looking
go. That's
to
what we're looking
consign.
for. If you're on Periscope, please pop a question and we will ask them when we get back from a break. Let's do that right now.
Welcome to Same Old Sam's Standard Car Dealership. When it comes to buying and selling cars, Same Old Sam has a great business model. If you're Same Old Sam, that is. See, Sam swindles sellers when he buys their car at a low price. Same goes for clients who trade in their car. He then swiftly sells said car at a much higher price to a buyer, costing the buyer and the seller thousands of dollars in the process. It's lose, win, lose. Maybe it's time we shift gears when it comes to buying and selling cars. Time to put things in reverse. Reverse Dealer, that is. Reverse Dealer is an online auto dealership that gives buyers and sellers all the benefits of a traditional dealer without any of the downfalls. Here's how it works. Sellers bring in their car to get it cleaned and vacuumed. We take professional pictures, evaluate the car on the spot, compare pricing to similar vehicles, and write up a professional ad to be posted on our website, all for free. We also provide non-commissioned professionals to show and sell your car. And if you're not ready to sell your car yet, don't worry, you can still come in to see us. We store your car's info until you're ready to put it on the market. Instead of surfing tons of different websites, buyers can find everything they need at Reverse Dealer, including complete vehicle history, over 20 plus photos of the car, fair market prices, and we offer financing and extended warranty options. Reverse Dealer will even bring the car to the buyer for a test drive. Reverse Dealer doesn't make money by buying low and selling high like Same Old Sam. We simply charge a small one-time fee on each transaction, ensuring that buyers and sellers get a great deal. Unlike the lose-win-lose ways of Same Old Sam, Reverse Dealer offers a win-win-win. And we just think it's better when everyone walks away happy. So let's stop giving away thousands of dollars to Same Old Sam. Let's change the way we buy and sell cars. Let's throw it into reverse. Reverse Dealer. To learn more, visit reversedealer.com.
And we're back. Chris, there was a comment in Facebook over the break here from Mike.
Oh, Mikey.
And he's asking, is there theft insurance for our vehicles while they're on the lot?
There's two different types of vehicles that are on our lot. If someone actually does do a trade-in, and we actually do trade-ins like a traditional dealership.
So I could bring my vehicle to you and do a trade-in without selling it right away.
Yeah,
if I needed the money now.
Yeah, if you do, and we will literally tell you straight up, say you can consign, you will literally get
You'll
$3,000
get
to
more
$4,000 more if you consign.
$3,000 to $4,000 more.
That's the average. So
Wow.
we'll tell them that you, just so you know,
Patience
you have the
is a
option
virtue.
of making $3,000 to $4,000. If you don't, then this is your trade-in number. And if we do that, then we take trade. That gives us inventory on our lot.
Right.
That we will help sell the vehicle. So if that vehicle is on our lot, it is insured under
yours.
our insurance.
Right.
And then if it's a consigned vehicle, every vehicle on our lot has to have full insurance on the vehicle.
So
if
same
it
insurance
gets,
that I have when I drive my vehicle.
exactly. So if it gets stolen from the lot, or a hailstorm comes on the lot, anything like that, then their insurance will cover it. Where we do cover customers' vehicles is if it goes on a test drive. So the second it leaves our lot, we put a dealer plate on the back.
Gotcha.
And then, so if anyone runs a red light, gets in an accident, anything like that,
That comes back to Reverse Dealer.
Reverse Dealer covers their insurance 100%,
Awesome.
or it goes under our insurance 100%. So if anyone gets in an accident, anything happens, our premiums are affected, not the clients.
And that's the same
So-
way at a regular dealership, right? Like
Yeah,
once
but
they put that dealer plate on, it's the
Yeah.
dealer's car. And
Yeah,
everything.
exactly.
So,
So-
you guys are the same in that sense.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but insurance, that's a good
Fantastic.
question, Mike.
That's a great question. So, Hema, is there any other things from Periscope? Did we get any in?
Potsorokies.
No, not really.
No.
So, Chris, I have a question for you, though.
Yes.
Over this past month, you've been interviewed for a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
One was a magazine that's coming up, and one was for a podcast. How did those go?
They both went really well. I just, for the magazine, we had to do some high-res photos around the lot. And shout out to Mitch, our photographer. He's our picture guy and our inventory manager. And he's got a giant bag of camera equipment. I have no idea what it is.
Camera
but
toys,
like, you should see the pictures this guy's take. Like, if you just go to reversedealer.com, you can see our old pictures, and you'll tell night and day scrolling through to the ones he does. It's just, oh, man, it's amazing. So we had to do some high-res pictures of the lot, how it's growing, how, like, we kind of started to where it is now. We did a couple pictures like that. That interview went very well. The podcast went very well. I'm looking forward to hearing that one. Absolutely.
Do you have any idea when the podcast will be coming out?
The podcast, he said 5 weeks from last week. So another 4 weeks or so. Probably August, late August.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
And well, of course, we'll say something. So keep
definitely
watching the show. We'll tell you when the episode goes live.
In that magazine, it's a national magazine, and very excited
Roughly
about it.
when do you think that one's going?
It was an anniversary edition. I think he said October.
October, okay.
Yeah, and it was a big anniversary edition for the magazine.
And you're on the front cover, right?
Yeah, right. I wish.
So, Chris, as we wrap up here, I see you have a note here that's saying, there's a list of things that people don't like when going to our regular car dealer.
Yeah, I was doing a bit of research today, and I just wanted to see what the top things people didn't like about dealerships, and it came back 30% of people didn't like the cost of the vehicle, so the hidden fees, all this extra stuff that gets added onto it, 30%, and each person only got one vote, so 30% is quite a bit. And the next one was the dealership experience. So when you just from walking into the dealership or you're on the lot looking at a vehicle and a salesman just comes out of nowhere, and then they bring you in and try to get you into a vehicle you don't want, and just the whole
force you into the vehicle.
The trade appraisal process, where first they come back and will say, we'll give you $10,000 for your trade, and then it's $12,000, and then next thing you know, after sitting there 3 hours, you just talked yourself into an extra $6,000 for your trade. It's just that those are the top two things. Was the dealership experience and the hidden fees and costs, things like that. Yeah.
And those kind of things don't happen at Reverse Dealer. No. You guys have your office on the lot.
Yeah.
And if someone wants to go walk around the lot,
totally,
they're free to do what they're thinking, right?
Absolutely. We might come out and say hi, just so you know.
You want a coffee?
Yeah. Well, we will. We'll go out. We'll approach people and we'll let them know that everything's on consignment.
Well, that's also just nice housekeeping.
It's just saying hello. It's
welcome to the lot.
Yeah, exactly. It's a welcome to the lot. It's not welcome to the lot. Let's
now
get you
into
a car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like that. It's totally more. It's welcoming. So
awesome.
And not some dealerships are like that. Some dealerships. I heard of this one dealership in Ontario actually. They have a rule. They cannot go out and approach clients. At all. So clients have to, and they post it up so clients know, because sometimes clients will be standing out there and be like, well, where is the salesperson? So, and then they have to actually read the sign, and then they have to go in and ask for a salesperson to get away from that pressure. But it just shows there's a huge demand to be different in this industry right now. It's just, there's a huge demand. So
that's awesome. So if you want any more questions about Reverse Dealer, head over to reversedealer.com and check out the actual inventory. If you're looking for the social media, Facebook, Reverse Dealer.
Yeah.
So if you haven't already, click like and make sure you put it so that the Reverse Dealer posts are at the top of the page, because not all of it's about cars. I think we've got some videos in there about
2% or 3% is about cars.
And then even some of the stuff that's about cars is about, I saw a video about how often you should be changing your brakes and how to clean the inside of your car.
Yeah.
There's added value stuff, so make sure you click that I want to see this at the top of my feed. There should also be an option that when Reverse Dealer goes live with Facebook Live, that you'll get notified. That's happening every Thursday, 6 p.m.
6 p.m. every Thursday. Absolutely.
And then where else are you on the social medias?
We're everywhere we can right now. We're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. On LinkedIn, I do my own personal blog every night. That's soon going to be coming to reversedealer.com. We're on, Snapchat. Snapchat. And
barely on Snapchat.
All the usernames are Reverse Dealer. Where else are we? I think that's, Periscope. We're on Periscope.
Right now, in fact, we're on Periscope.
On Periscope right now. And then we do a lot of things locally within our own community. We're a title sponsor of something called the Social Media Breakfast,
which is an awesome event that happens once a month.
Yeah, once a month. Red Deer and Lacombe Social Media Breakfast. So we're in two different social media events like that.
That's fantastic.
We just try to give back. We do a lot of different things. Like if you follow us on our Facebook, every morning we do a motivational video. And then throughout the day, there could be some funny things, some quotes, some things like that. And at the end of the day, we'll have a positive, uplifting quote through our Facebook and then on Twitter. So we like to start each day with something positive. And this isn't 350 days of the year. It's every single day. we will do this stuff. And actually, Hema's in charge of all that, and she does a fantastic job at just delivering the message that we're different. We're here. Our message is to be positive, and we are the change that we want to see in the auto industry. So we're not just doing it for the vehicles, but for just to be a positive force in the world. And we want these locations set up all over the place. So we feel if we just start, we're just in Red Deer, one city, and if we expanded this out across the country, I think we could actually do a lot of good for like Canada is where we are right now, but who knows how big it can get.
So make sure that you just follow on the social media and keep your eye out when you're around Central Alberta.
Yeah, watch for the little reverse dealer plate brackets, and we got some decals that go on the back of vehicles.
And
wristbands, yeah, these are coming. We got a store on reversedealer.com. If you guys want to get these wristbands, we got reverse dealer clothes. We got everything's coming right now, and we're Hema's going to be designing some more clothes, and I'm sure it's going to have
togas, right?
Yeah, it might.
Togas?
It's going to be just positive messages. It could just be like a nice quote on the back of your shirt,
Love
or something
it.
that just makes you feel good to wear.
Love it.
And it's not to necessarily promote how to sell cars or anything like that, but just to be a positive change. So, and that's why we picked that green color, just to be different, and green represents.
Means go.
So, yeah, green means go.
Green means go.
Yes, sir.
So let's wrap up for this week. Chris,
Sounds good,
if someone
Karen.
wants to find you on LinkedIn, like where do you find yourself?
You have to go to Chris Schellenberger. Good luck spelling that one.
It's probably easier going to Reverse Dealer first to find your spelling, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Or on
we
Facebook.
Yeah,
I usually
Facebook.
post the stuff
Chris
on Facebook.
Schellenberger. It's SCHELLENBERGER. So, hope you wrote that down.
Hit rewind. You'll hear it again.
It's on there. Yeah, so we're on there. Just look up Reverse Dealer. You'll find us. So
that's fantastic. So I think that wraps up this week.
I think that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Next Thursday, 6 p.m. And we're going to actually start having some other people, maybe a journeyman mechanic on the show. We got some other people that are lined up, so stay tuned. If you have questions, you can give us questions all week, and then we can save them and then answer them. You don't have to wait to the live part just to ask the question. You can email them in. Put them on our Facebook, anything, and then we can answer those questions live, unfiltered.
Well, and even if you get the questions in early, we could probably do a real in-depth episode on those kind of things.
Yeah, if you have like a topic you want, absolutely give us a topic. We'll cover that in detail, whether it's trading in, financing, selling a vehicle privately yourself, not using reverse dealer, anything like that. Just we're here to help. We're fully transparent. So
fantastic.
Nothing to hide.
Nothing to hide. Speaking of hiding. I think that's about it for this week then. Show that one more time there, Chris. Right there. There you go, buddy. Show me the money.
This is just our fees on the bottom. So if you're looking to sell your vehicle, you can give us a call or look us up, reversedealer.com. If you want to find out what your vehicle's worth, you can go to reversedealer.com. No strings attached. We won't spam you if you send in the form. We will get you that information, and it's valuable information if you're looking to trade in at a dealer, sell private, or looking to use us as well.
Fantastic. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good night.
Cheers.